Hello everyone, my name is TurboTony19. How you all doing there today? And you're going to be watching some XCOM Let's Play. I say you're going to be watching rather than me playing. It's simply because of the fact that when I recorded this, I was recording it, my mic and everything. I was, talking and everything like that, and for some reason, it just seemed as if the mic didn't want to work. It didn't record my voice at all, or anything like that. So I don't know what the problem was. I don't know if it was my microphone or my mic port, but I seem to finish it now. I did buy a new microphone. So hopefully, that will be all sorted out. So for this episode and for the next episode, I'm literally just going to be commentating over the gameplay that I have, and hope that you guys will enjoy, me talking over what I've already played. So I'll try not to let too much go away. I'll try not to, give parts away of what's happening, because obviously I know what's happened and I'm talking back on it. And I'll also try and be moderately entertaining for you. So apologies if it's not really amazing. But I'll try my best regardless. So this episode that we're doing here, like I said, it was about an hour's worth I did on a batch recording. It was this episode and another episode that I did. And basically it was in regards to basically continuing the Let's Play. Essentially, what I was mainly worried about when carrying on there from the Let's Play from when I had done it beforehand was the fact that I haven't actually done that much, in terms of like trying to conserve my men. A lot of my guys are dead, and that was my main worry, really, in terms of continuing the Let's Play. I know I could hire more people, and I have been doing that, but my whole kind of theme of the Let's Play has been pretty much to, for the originals to be alive, and if any of the other subscribers come in, that's great, that's fine. But if all the original people die, then I'm just going to quit it there and say that was basically the aliens win. Because when I officially did this, I did this obviously for people that were part of my my gaming clan. They're the people with the originals, and obviously for the subscribers as well. I just think if everyone were to die, then maybe people's interest wouldn't peak, and I probably wouldn't continue on from there. But with any luck, we can get through it. We can get to the end of the Let's Play. I'd love to finish a Let's Play, regardless whether it's a fail or if we actually manage to succeed. I would still like to do it. So there is that. So the main problem that I have here in this particular part is that I'm worried about the amount of money that we have, because money's quite tight, and with XCOM I wanted to make sure that I have all my guys outfitted correctly, with the right armor and weapons and everything. We've been losing a lot of people, and I thought, if you get people up to their maximum potential in terms of keeping them alive in battle, then that's the best way to go about it. This particular mission does have a lot of base building and a lot of sort of like managing finances and stuff. There's actually quite a longer episode than the majority of mine, and there's a few things that will come up later on that allow me to go and purchase more and more things, which I think we're now sort of nearing the end of our sort of research curve and the sort of enemies that we're going to be fighting and all that sort of thing. So that's it's not too bad really. In that sense, like I said, the main worry that I have in terms of the Let's Play is not having enough men to outfit the remainder of the game. You know what I mean? So there is that, and one of my my overall worries really when it comes to playing XCOM as a whole. When I first bought the game, I'm just going to be chatting about random stuff here, so apologies for that. I'm just literally going off anything I can think I'm going to chat about here. So it's going to be more like one of my earlier YouTubing videos that I did. In fact, if you have a bit of time, go onto my main channel and actually check out some of the earlier videos that I did. You can see a real big sort of gap in quality. I've definitely got better at the whole video editing. And yeah, these small mistakes come up every now and then, but I feel like in terms of the actual editing and everything like that things actually turn out to not be too bad, in terms of me knowing what I'm doing and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, you know, if you go look back on those, I look back on them every now and then and just watch some of the old ones. But I'm going completely off topic. Yeah, when it comes to XCOM, when I first bought the game and I played it through and I kind of learnt the game and everything like that, and now I'm kind of going through the difficulty levels and everything like that. It's one of the things that I've been doing. I've been looking more recently at some of the mods that I could download for it, because I've been going in and doing a lot of the mods on Left 4 Dead 2. I did a video of that on my main channel if you want to check that out. There's like a few mods that people have released. It's not, I mean, XCOM, it has a big following, but I don't think it has a very big mod following that surrounds it, you know. So that is, you know, that's one thing. There isn't, you know, as many mods out there. There's some really good ones, and there's some that I checked out that I might play. I wouldn't record because some of them, like for instance, one of the mods increases the overall length of time in the game to, I think, like 20 times its usual amount. So if you think that's roughly, a campaign will take me about 20 hours to complete. At most, 20 times 20, yeah, that's a lot of hours for you to be playing games, you know what I mean? So, in one campaign as well. So, imagine doing that, like going in, you know, like 200 hours in and just failing there. That would suck, wouldn't it? That would be really bad. So, yeah, basically one of the things that we came up here, we had the end of the month council report, got a lot of money in, so I thought I need everyone to really have a Titan armor, especially with the amount of people that we've been losing recently, and with that, a lot of the noobs that have been coming in, the new guys, they don't have a lot of HP boosts because obviously they're a low rank, so you have to take that into account as well. So basically here was basically just upgrading, giving my guys all the best that I can in terms of armor and weapons, and trying to get back ahead of the curve, which is something that I've said in a lot of previous episodes, that I feel like I've been failing a little bit trying to get them back. And this is one thing that was actually really cool. I managed to get this request in for, look at the amount of money you get there for 7 plasma rifles, considering I hadn't made any of them as well, and they look quite easy to make, so I thought yes, definitely. So we've got a lot of money there to play around with, hence why why this particular episode is quite lengthy. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff here that sets us up into the, you know, into the episodes that we're going into, and that's what I mean. It's so frustrating about these two episodes I did, that they're actually really good episodes. This one here, there's a lot that happens in it, a lot of real interesting stuff that happens, and it's just frustrating when these little things come up. I had some of them happen on some other episodes. Sometimes the audio goes wrong. I think that's just part of parcel of doing this, that when you're doing it with, like, I don't have a lot of resources in terms of getting a really high-end microphone, or you know, talking in regards to you know, in regards to, you know, paying out for real high-tech stuff. I'm basically working off of little dribs and drabs and hoping that I can eventually make something from there, if you know what I mean. So that's the main thing, along with that, regardless, that maybe as time goes on and maybe I'll get a bit more of a following, you know, maybe these little problems will go out because I'll have more reason to fund the channel. Really, at the moment I don't. It's more of a hobby, and it'll always remain that way. The minute that making these videos becomes more of a chore rather than something that I enjoy, I'll just stop outright. You know, I was in this to do something, to take up my time that was creative, in the sense that it's kind of hard to explain, but I'll try and explain the best. We've got plenty of time, of course. So, essentially, the reason why I got into YouTubing is because I had my leg broken, and I haven't explained this a lot on this channel, but I have it in my other ones, in some of my other videos. But I had my leg broken, and you know, obviously I went out of work, and you know, it was a real big change into regards of I had a lot more time on my hands, but then not a lot of outlets I could use to get a lot of that time out, you know. So it was a little bit awkward in that sense. But then, you know, watching YouTube videos like Let's Plays, like, you know, the XCOM that I'm doing here now, was something that I really enjoyed, and I thought, hey, why not I try and get into this? You know, it might be something that might be worth doing. I had no history in video editing, I had no history of commentary, anything like this, and that's what made it kind of appealing at the start, because it was something completely new. I could go in, it was an outlet of which I could get feedback from an audience that were available to watch the videos, and it took up my time, which is good, you know, because I mean I think I probably would have gone out of my head if I hadn't found an outlet in order to take my time up. I'm an extremely creative person. For people that don't know me, I write novels, talk time to time, short stories and everything. I'm one of those people that if I'm not actually doing something, whether it might be playing a game or writing or editing or you know doing something social with my family, you know, with my wife or my child, I feel like I need to be doing something. Always need to be going. And I've always been like that. It's awkward to explain because I might not always do something, worthwhile, so to speak. I might, just do some random crap. But I'm not one of those people to be sitting down and, like, I don't sit down and watch TV that much because to me it's not interactive enough. It doesn't get me, my mind working or, anything like that. Whereas games do. Games make me think, make me adapt to situations. If I'm playing a game that has a good story, I get into that story more because I'm playing that story. Or if you've got games like Xcom, it's one of those things that like you're constantly thinking. You're wondering, okay, how do I do this? How do I do that? Is it worth, going this route, going that route? Whereas when I'm watching movies, you're basically just, I think eventually movies are going to have to evolve as an art form anyway, because you're getting these games, you pay out more for a game, but you're getting a movie might last 90 minutes, but a really good game might last you. Like for instance, I bought Guild Wars 2 about 6 months ago, and I've logged in about I think that's about 400 hours, 450 hours, I think, on that, and that's a lot more than you get for paying out for a movie. And exceptional circumstances when you've got games like that. Sometimes you might buy a game and it might only last less than 5 hours, and you might think that you've been cheated out of your money, especially if it's paid, like in Ireland it's €60 for a new game, which I think is ludicrous. That is a lot of money. But going back into Let's Play anyway, basically, we had the alien terrorize. And I was very worried going into this mission because you all remember what happened in the last mission. Basically, everyone got wiped out. We had 2 survivors. I can't remember who they were. I think one of them was Tom. I can't remember who the other one was. But essentially, we were fucked in that mission. Excuse my language. And a lot of people died. We failed the mission, and we had like a country completely pull out because of it. It really set me back. That was the moment in the Let's Play that I wondered whether it might be worth continuing because of the amount of people that died, not just in that mission but overall as well, because I've set myself quite hefty targets to complete it with really limited death, which is in Xcom. As you can see, you could play really well, but the enemy could just come out of nowhere and they can just come at you and assault you without you really being ready to do it, so that can be an issue that some people have brought up about Xcom as well. I don't know, people that may have played it or maybe you've watched it and noticed it. Some people tend to say that with Xcom, sometimes it can be quite unfair, and I agree with that. Sometimes the maths seem a little bit off. That you might be literally looking smack bang next to someone, you might only get 30% chance of hitting them. It doesn't seem to work that correctly in that sense, but I mean, like 9 times out of 10 it seems fair, but it's that 1 time out of 10 that crops up every now and then, especially when it might be the difference between winning a battle or losing a battle, especially on some of the later playthroughs. So I can understand why people would be a little bit frustrated with that. There are actually a few mods as well that do that as well, that actually tweak the maths and the kind of the mechanics of the game to make it work better, to make it more, I hate to say realistic because it's not exactly realistic in XCOM, you know what I mean. But yeah, talking about XCOM, actually, I don't think I brought this up in an episode beforehand, because obviously as I'm playing and I'm kind of commentating on what I'm doing. When I'm not doing a live commentary like I am now, I've got more. I've got the ability to have a bit of hindsight, which is something that usually I wouldn't have when I'm playing the game for obvious reasons. And the original the original game that actually got me into this sort of genre, which I mean, the whole sort of like turn-based strategy or strategy games in general, they were really huge in my childhood when my dad was playing a lot of similar games, and he was playing a game. Excuse me, got a cough. And he was playing a game called I think it was like Warhammer Chaos Marine. Now I don't know if that was it was definitely a Warhammer game, and it was about Marines, but it was a squad-based game. Basically, you move things quite similar to the way that Xcom works, except that you didn't really have the basis of cover. I think some of the missions were just outright just rancid in difficulty, like a lot of the games were back then. You know, like the original XCOM. You know, people say is a lot harder than this XCOM. You know, because you obviously have a lot of micromanagement. There's a lot of little things you can get wrong which turn into big things. Whereas XCOM, everything's sort of in this XCOM, everything's sort of simplified, which for good reason. Because I think if it was too complicated, it just wouldn't reach the appeal of people that it has now. I think this game, obviously, I don't know the numbers or anything, but it was quite a big success. Because it was made well, and it was made sort of like it reached both ends of the market. There's some games that go completely out the other side and like completely alienate their fan base, and there'll be other games that do it the other way, that they you know, that they go too hectic, and then suddenly, yeah, you've got your hardcore gamers happy, but your hardcore gamers might make up 5% of the people that you would normally want to buy your game, which is, you know, which screws you if you're looking for finances. And when you're looking at companies like THQ, which went bankrupt. Now, obviously, I don't know too much about why they went bankrupt or anything like that. I'm not a games journalist. I don't know all the details. But you also have to remember that when they, you know, when these practices like DLC come out, yeah, some of them might be bullshit. But you know, you have to look at it at a financial standpoint as well. That some of these companies genuinely did. Now, obviously, EA don't, you know, some companies just outright. Activision with Call of Duty, they're basically swimming in cash at this point. But like, you know, games like XCOM, where there are publishers that are behind them. I think there were 2K games that did them. You know, aren't in the same situation, and you know, they have to. They can't afford to release a game that they know they're going to take a hit on, which is just bad practice anyway. So I think XCOM did it really well. That they kind of, you know, they did something for everyone in that sense. You know, so that was something that I have to commend them for, and it's a great game looking back on it as well. Because when I took the risk on XCOM, I first played it on the Xbox, which was. You know, I rented it out because I didn't know if I'd like it, because it's been a long time since I've even seen one of these games be played, let alone played one of these games. It just went out of fashion for a while. You didn't see these sort of games for years and years and years. And no, it's not. It's just the way that games went. You know, they want more sort of like realism. The first-person shooter genre just burst up out of the ground, and you know, kind of took over everything. It was very rare to see a strategy game like this be on the Xbox as well as PC, because you know, PC there's loads of games, you know, along those lines as well. But I'm completely going off topic here, all the things. But if you remember, one of the things, I'll just go back into the gameplay quickly here. That one of the things I was really worried about when doing this game, this mission. If you remember in the last mission, I don't know what I was thinking of, but I started sending like snipers out to get people around, and I kind of just bit off more than I could shoot. I was really wary of that in this particular mission, and you see here that basically they just pop out of nowhere. And as soon as you find one group, it seems like one group turns into about 5 groups, and everything just comes at you. And I really haven't come out of my opening area. They're already all over me here. And this mission doesn't go all entirely to plan. Obviously, you'll see it from there. You know, it's still awkward, to say the least. But I think I learnt my lesson from that absolute just horror mission, that where everyone died. And you know, you can have that. One of the things that I feel like I'm doing when I'm commentating and playing the game is that obviously your mind is in two ends. You're trying to make your commentary sort of entertaining, and then you're trying to make your gameplay you know, in a game like XCOM, intelligent gameplay, you're trying to play the game. XCOM, you need to be on your toes mentally to kind of think of where do I move these guys? Are they in cover here? Are they got Overwatch here? Are they going to take us next turn? Can we go out and capture some of them? You're always thinking that, and to try and commentate at the same time it's hard, you know. But it's something that's just comes with the territory of doing a let's play like this. One of the things that I've been thinking of more and more recently, actually, over time. Is I mean, I'm in under no illusions. This XCOM Let's Play is actually quite close towards the end of the Let's Play. There's actually not much more. I'd say at most we're probably going to have about another 8 missions, I think, and then that'll probably be it. Rather we fail or we actually manage to pull out, you know, the win. I don't know, but the actual Let's Play, I think, would come to an end at that point. Regardless whether it's a victory or a failure. And what am I going to do after that? There's a few things I have that I could do. I'm not entirely sure which way I'll take it. But I think I might run something on the lines of where I'm trying to look at games where, much like XCOM, where I can sort of integrate my subscribers and people that are in my clan into the videos, and therefore give them some sort of interactivity. One of the games I was thinking of doing that one was with FIFA. I don't know if many people would be up for watching, you know, a football let's play, but I thought I could make all of my my clan players given random stats and try and win like a cup with them or something like that. Something along those lines. That way, you know, people are watching it, and you know, not everyone would be guaranteed to be a certain position. You know, I just basically randomise it, almost like I did with XCOM. You know, I didn't know who was going to be a heavy, I didn't know who was going to be a supporter. I just ran things from there. That way, it's ultimately fair. because you know, especially in like a football game as well, everyone wants to be a striker, everyone wants to be scoring goals, but there's only 2 slots and it's an 11-man team. So that might be something that I was thinking of there as well. But if you've got any ideas, please leave an idea in the comment of games that you think that I can maybe input people's names into and play with like a group where you're all integrated. That way, it's not just fun for me playing the game, because I kind of get into it and thinking, oh, who's going to do great and who's going to die like an XCOM, you know, who's going to last to the end. It's good because as I'm playing it, I'm like, oh, you know, it's going along. I get into it myself, you know, and it gives me another reason for enjoying these games that I've played. You know, with XCOM, I played a lot of XCOM. With FIFA or Guild Wars, I've played loads of those, and you know, if I can find almost like a new way of thinking of how to play these games and how to interact with these games, you know, I'm going to take it. You know, make it just as fun. In as you can see here in the actual gameplay here, I'm literally fucked. I've got like floaters everywhere. I've got a cyber disc coming in. Like I said, it just seems like if you find one group, especially towards the latter stage of the game, everyone suddenly wants to get involved, and that was the point. And it's almost like you're forced to play defensively, because if you just run forwards, you're just flanked on so many different fronts. It's hard, you know. These especially the terror missions as well, because you feel like you've got to go out and save the civilians, which you do, but towards the end of the game, you know, you basically have to keep you guys alive, and that's basically the sort of creed that I was running on this particular mission. As you can see, I'm trying to move everyone into cover. That's one thing that actually I was wondering about. That one of the missions that I had before was the bomb diffusion mission, and you seem to only get that once every campaign. It would be good if they threw a few more of those in as time goes on, because I thought the bomb diffusing ones, just for strategy, is actually a really good idea to do. And you know, it's actually quite fun because it's different, rather than just keep doing the missions where you're doing the terror missions or you're just doing the normal alien abduction missions. That they should throw in different ones every now and then like that. It seems like in a campaign, you get like the extraction missions, which you get every now and then. You get the bomb missions, which you only get every now and then. But they're all council missions, and you might only get a council call maybe 3 times in a campaign if you play it well enough, you know. So like you may only get, you know, 2 extraction missions and 1 bomb disposal, but you might get 20 alien abduction missions. You know what I mean? I just thought that the the ratio was a little bit off, that they could have done a little bit more, especially the terror missions. It would have been great towards the end of the game to do saving people and defusing bombs. That would have been really tough, especially in one of the latter missions, you know, where you could have done, you know, both of them, where you have to count, you have to weigh up whether to go for a bomb in one turn or save people in one turn. It would be hard, but you know, nothing in XCOM ever is. This is one thing that I had a problem with here, that you can see that I killed one of civilians. I was actually having loads of problems trying to aim up until the thing, and I actually ran my mouse wheel all the way up the top. So I tried it again anyway, and it hit this time, but the first time it didn't for some reason. It's really hard. It doesn't really seem to tell you whether you're going to hit them or not. And there was no real gauge telling them. You can see here I was having a few problems trying to figure out whether I'm actually going to hit the targets or not, or I'm just going to kill another civilian like an absolute moron. But as you can see, I do hit the target. I think I do kill another civilian, yeah. So the means to an end anyway. But yeah, I mean, that's my general thoughts on XCOM anyway as a game. If you're watching the series and you haven't bought it, I would recommend it. I would recommend it if you realise that XCOM doesn't like anyone that plays it. You know, it's a harsh mistress, as you'll see. You know, through the playthrough, that you could be the best tactician of all time. You're going to lose guys, you're going to lose men, especially on your first playthrough. I'd like to meet the guy who played this first and managed to actually finish it off, you know, without failing it the first time. Yeah, and then we have a death there. Martin was killed outright, 18 critical damage. No Titan armor in the world is going to save him, which was a little bit worrying, but it wasn't really much you could do there. Sometimes you just get these critical hits on your guys, you know, just, you know, the way that the game is. But regardless, you know, we're losing people here, and one of my main worries, as I said at the start of the episode, was we're going to start losing too many people, and it will start to become too problematic from there on out. And, you know, in a way, I am kind of right in that sense, you know, that it's... I think that we're starting to get to a position now that things are getting too dire. But regardless, I'll still keep going on until all of the regulars or subscribers have died. And when they do, I'll probably edit some sort of sad music, you know, in the background for people, you know, that we tried our best, you know, but just wasn't good enough. Almost a little bit Mass Effect style, you know, that ending that you can get in Mass Effect, where it's just like, yeah, we failed, you know what I mean? But just trying to think of random stuff. Oh yeah, I was talking along a lot about stuff about when I started the channel anyway. I'm probably going to go on this on like a vlog on my main channel, so apologies to people who maybe have heard this already before, or they're going to go hear it again. Apologies there. I am quite open in terms of why I do the channel and everything. I think that it's good to be open with your subscribers, like, you know, that way you can relate to when I play games. I'm quite open. I don't like the sort of... I can understand the sort of anonymity that comes with being a YouTuber, especially if you get big. You know, you might have a few problems there. I can imagine people like, you know, C-Nanners, or, you know, a big fan of Kevin, that if any of their personal details got out, then it would be a massive problem for them. You know, I do get that. But, like, you know, in terms of like life history and stories like that, I've been through the mill quite a bit. I've seen a lot of stuff in my life. If I can benefit any people that have been watching this before, or even just give people that know me an insight to the sort of things that I go through, especially as I live in a country to the majority of people that I know, then I'm more than happy to do that. I always have been. I don't hide things from people. It's not something that I enjoy to do. If you actually watch one of my videos beforehand in regards to the, you know, talking about lies and stuff, I just said that, you know, as a person that when I was young, you know, I'm quite honest, you know what I mean, but everyone lies, you know, and it's one of those things that when you're lying about stuff, it just kind of builds up and builds up. It gets harder to kind of keep this going and everything like that. So I live by a creed now, just being, I am pretty much an open book to a degree, you know what I mean, to people, and that's why every now and then I do the vlogs on my main channel. I'm more than happy to answer questions or you know, about what I've been through. The fact that I have like a stuff about my broken leg. People might have questions about that. The fact that I'm essentially disabled now. So going through that and different. I was actually planning on doing a video kind of talking about that and going into a little bit more details because it could help people. But like I said, that'll be on my main channel as well. I'm starting to think now as well, just trying to be candid as well, that when I started up this channel, which was for Let's Plays and stuff like that, I'm starting to think that maybe it wasn't the best idea to kind of disassociate it from my main channel, because now I've got sort of like 2 different sets of subscribers, which I think that maybe I should just merge into the same channel. But I'll run with it anyway. If people think that really isn't worth it, then I'll just completely stop uploading on one channel and go to the other, which will probably be this channel, go straight to the to my main one. But the idea was that I went a while where I was just uploading loads of videos. I was uploading almost like a video a day on my main channel because I just got into the bars. I was just making loads and loads of stuff, getting really into the video editing and trying to sort of like testing my limits of what I could do. And then I felt as if, am I really spamming people's feeds? Because the majority of gaming YouTubers out there would maybe do 2-3 videos a week, whereas I was putting one out every day. And that's, for my main channel, I wasn't happy with. That's why I made a sub channel, so people that really wanted more, they could go onto the sub channel. There's more stuff there, Let's Plays, where you would get an upload daily if I was really into a game, or if things were working fine with with my system and everything. So now I'm thinking maybe it was a bit of an issue. Maybe I should go back to it. But I go backwards and forwards all the time. I don't think anyone's particularly bothered about that anyway. But yeah, that was my general thoughts on that. In regards to stuff with the channel, I always tend to talk about the channel whenever I'm doing these sort of random talks. I guess it's because when I'm talking about videos on my channel, and then I'm doing a commentary, it's just the first thing that comes to mind. You know what I mean? And you have to talk about random stuff for about an hour as well. Like I said, the next mission is about 25 minutes. Is 35 minutes. So I didn't come here with a particular plan, so apologies for that in advance. So talking about random stuff. I guess if people though enjoy me talking about random stuff, they're gonna enjoy hearing me say anything. So kudos to you and thanks for watching the videos. Yeah, this is actually kind of wrapping up the mission now. Towards the end of it, time flies when you're having fun, to say the least. This particular mission didn't go fantastic to me. Yeah, we lost an operative, and he was actually one of our better ones as well, so it wasn't that particularly great off, but we killed all the aliens anyway, and it was a little bit awkward for a time. I thought we defended quite well. One of the things as well is that because we don't have too many people, I can't afford them to be injured for too long, so that's an issue as well. But all in all, not a bad mission. We got 1 wounded, 1 KIA. But you do what you can, and it wasn't horrible by any means. And we've got 1 good sniper left, which is obviously the subscriber there, which was our last sniper. Actually, that's half decent. So he needs to stay alive, which is an absolute must. And we also got Tom there, who just seems to survive no matter what happens. He just keeps going on and on and on, which is good. And yeah, I'll just wrap things up there now because there isn't much left onto this episode. If you're wondering about barriers, because of all the issues, obviously him kidnapping me in the last episode, he went on hiatus for a little while. He feel like he got his point across and everything. So there is that. Because we also did that mission as well. Just going back to the gameplay, that everything seems to be going pretty fine now in terms of the situation room, which is good. It's just I think the lack of people, and as I had money, I thought I might as well just purchase all the remaining officer training school bits and bobs. In hindsight, if I'd got Don't Die on me, which is that one where you can basically a lot of the soldiers go critically wounded instead of dying, then that may have been better for me all in all. But you do what you can do at the end of the day. Like, we didn't have anyone available at it at the time. I'm sure that I probably would have invested in it if I had the money or anything like that. Hindsight's a bitch at the end of the day. One of the things that I did buy is that all the squaddies get an upgrade. which I thought was really good as well. Especially if maybe our sniper is injured, we've got another sniper there to help out, to take up that slack. Because I think in some missions where I didn't take a sniper, it really shows, like, or at least a good sniper. And you've got all the list of people that have died, which is quite horrendous. And you look at that mission, Deviant Shroud, loads of people died. Unfortunate. That's all I can really say about it there. We had a lot of people had a lot of missions under their belt that died, unfortunately. But that seems to be like pretty much the end of this particular episode. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I'm sorry about just the rambling on there. But if you like the video, please do like, subscribe to the channel for more. And thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.